Hey, welcome back to another video. You probably read the title, but just for some backstory, my name is Alex. I am 19 years old. I dropped out of high school exactly 1.5 years ago. Right now, in June of 2024, I was supposed to get my diploma and be done with school, but instead, I'm here in Brazil. In this video, I want to give you my top 5 reasons for dropping out of high school and also a couple of reasons and situations in which I believe that you should not drop out of high school. So let's just jump straight into it. The first, the biggest, and the simplest reason for dropping out of high school is more time. Every single minute you spend in school, you could do something that develops the things that you want to develop in life, whether that's a business, whether that's reading books, whether that's working out, whatever it is that is your calling in life. Instead of sitting in the classroom and listening to the teacher, you can take control of your own learning and put the self-development in your own hands and begin learning stuff that you actually want to learn and not what the teacher is telling you to learn. Reason number 2, and the reason that was pretty important to me, is more mental capacity. Not only will you have more hours to do whatever you want to do, you will also be more efficient in those hours because all of your mental capacity will go towards that one thing and will not be spent on school, because even if you are not paying attention in school, it is still draining your mental capacity. You still have to think about it, you still have to show up, you still have to act like you are paying attention in class, and all of that is draining your most valuable resource that you have in your day-to-day basis, and that is your mental capacity. Number 3, you will avoid the indoctrination that comes with school. If you have ever read the history of how the school system was created, which I really recommend that you do, especially if you are planning on dropping out, it's based on the Prussian education system, which was created to create soldiers, people who just listen to what they're told. They do as they're told. They don't think for themselves, because a soldier that begins thinking for himself on the battlefield is not a good soldier for the country. Then it was brought over to the US by Mr. Rockefeller in order to create workers for his factories. And as you can tell, not a single step in this process had your best interests in mind. It's all created as a process to keep you from asking questions and being curious and finding things out on your own and just listening to what you're told and doing as you are told. Reason number 4, which may sound a little counterintuitive, is that you will have more motivation to work because you won't have the false sense of security that you get from a diploma. From a young age, we are all told that getting an education, going to college is the most sure way to get a nice paying job, which, surprise, surprise, is not actually true, but most people have that belief. And by having a diploma, they get comfortable. They don't want to develop themselves because they feel like college is where they do all of the learning for their entire life. So by dropping out, you will have more motivation to work because, as I said, you won't have the feeling of the security net under you, and you will have to make it in life by yourself without relying on this piece of paper that you get by finishing school. The last and the 5th reason for dropping out of high school is that it will be probably your first big real decision in life. If you are thinking about dropping out, you are probably 16 years old or older, so you probably haven't had a lot of big decisions in your life. Yeah, maybe you've thought about which girl to go out with or which phone to buy, stuff like that, but you haven't made a real big decision in life, and this will be your first one. All of the people that you know basically will be against it, all your friends, all your family. I'm not saying this to discourage you, but you just have to be aware. People will be telling you that you are stupid, that you are retarded. Why are you dropping out of high school? This is how everyone does it. Why are you trying to be different? And you will have to stick to your guns. You will have to stick to your beliefs and make the best out of it. And I can promise you that if you really know what you are doing and you know that you want to drop out of high school, you will end up in a better position than you were in when you made the decision to drop out. I've also compiled 3 reasons not to drop out of high school, and the first one being if you want to have a profession that actually requires you to have a formal education, like a lawyer, like a doctor, like a pilot, all of these professions that require you to go to school and get this piece of paper. Of course, keep going to school. I have no problem with you wanting a job. Not everyone wants to run a business and be an entrepreneur like me. There's absolutely no shame in wanting a job. Just make sure that you actually know why you are going to school. Reason number 2, which may sound a bit cruel, is stay in school if you are okay with being average. If you don't have any big aspirations in life, if you are okay with having just an average house, if you are okay with not traveling the world, if you just want to live an average life, stay in school, get the degree, get an okay job, and live that way if that is the way you envision your life. Reason number 3, and the biggest reason not to drop out of school, is if dropping out would lead to some extraordinary consequences. Let's say you have a $3 million inheritance waiting for you, but the requirement to get that inheritance is to finish school. Of course, finish school, get that money, then you can begin running a business, traveling the world, whatever you want to do with that money. Point is, if there's something super special that requires you to go to school, make your own decision if that thing is worth it. And if it is, stay in school, get that thing, and then you can begin your life after finishing school. That's it. Those are my 5 biggest reasons to drop out of high school and my 3 reasons not to drop out. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments. I will get to them as soon as possible. I hope this video was valuable and gives you some clarity on the process of dropping out and how you should be thinking about it, because I've gone through it. As I said, dropped out 1.5 years ago. So take those 8 points, think about them, brew on them, and when you actually come to a decision, make sure to stick to that decision. Don't back out. Yes, as I said, you will feel resistance, but that is part of the process. Just remember, I'm rooting for you, and I will see you in my next video next Monday.